Don't understand me. 2, 4, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 cigarettes. What a magical number. Where's my peeps? Come on. Get down with it, man. Come on. There you go. There's one. Hey, Sticky. You will speaketh of none of this. Well, I just figured I'd give people topics in case they wanted to throw something out there. You know, a lot of people, they're not sure what to ask about, so... When is Paul's Alien video coming out? That's one of the major things being discussed tomorrow. Because we have a script, we have a plan to shoot some of the scenes. So it's just a matter of scheduling a time to do it and doing it. Enjoyed the new video. Thanks, Clout S. You are a god among midgets. I just assume you're a midget. I have no evidence, but I've always pictured Clout S as a midget. Not a mental midget, just a garden variety midget. Chapter 4, any news? It's been a while. You know, this is what got me thinking about the catch-22, you know, of my creative process. Because I recognize that inside my head, it's usually sheer chaos, and I have difficulty staying focused on any one topic. That's why a lot of times there's a lot of pregnant pauses in my video, because I have to focus really hard to stay on one topic and not veer in like 50,000 different directions. And I want to focus, but when I actually attain focus, I don't have as many ideas. So I go through these periods of chaotic brain, lots of ideas, lots of ideas, lots of ideas, but very hard to hold on to any one of them. Very hard to actually make one of them into something because they're just so fucking crazy disparate all over the place. But then when I get focus, you know, I can develop one of those ideas, and that's good. But I don't get that crazy outpouring of ideas because I'm too focused, you know, so I don't have, my brain's not reaching in 5,000 different directions at the same time. So, you know, I want to come up with some kind of system. I mean, I've tried taking notes, you know, and I'll just try to write down these ideas as they come. But, you know, a lot of times I'll look back at the notes and I won't even understand what the fuck I'm talking about. I'll just look back at it like, what? Catfish jelly bean, what? What does that mean? What? But I know I wouldn't have written it down unless I had something I thought was interesting. But, you know, I look back on it like, what? And it's not like I can write the whole thing out because these ideas are literally just like, you know. But, you know, it's kind of hard to write a book in that mindset, in that chaotic brain mindset. I feel like I need a lot of time between chapters just to think about what I'm going to say. And I know what the next chapter is going to be about. I've even written a few paragraphs of it, but not much more than that has happened yet. You know, hopefully I'll get into one of my more focused modes and zero in on writing chapter 4. You know, someone told me that a non-fiction book should be written in 2 months. Maybe it should, I don't know. But that's not my pace, so fuck you. It'll be done when it's done. If someone offered you and guaranteed in a manner that satisfied your skepticism $200,000 to both lose weight and stop smoking, do you think you could pull it off? Nah. I'm not going to change myself fundamentally for that amount of money. I need more than that. Now, 200 million. Fuck, show me the treadmill. I'll get back on Chantix. Venom is breaking box office records despite getting terrible reviews. I mean, when have the people ever listened to the critics? TJ, true story. In the last 2 weeks, there was this really strong garbage smell coming from my neighbor's apartment. Turns out he killed himself 3 weeks ago, and he was only found today. Jesus fucking Christ. That's crazy shit, man. Means you were smelling corpse that whole time. If I ever decide to kill myself, which I don't foresee, but if I ever do, and I'm living in some kind of apartment complex, I'll put a sign out before I do it, like dead body inside, please check. You know? Or like mail something to somebody. You know, like send a letter to the police, like, hey, if you received this letter, I just killed myself a few days ago. Please come to my apartment and clean up the mess before my neighbors have to deal with the smell. You know, be considerate. Just because you're ending it all doesn't mean you gotta be a jerk. Yeah, or, you know, do something that's, you know, like jump off the Golden Gate Bridge, you know, something that, you know, your body will dispose of itself, even if it's not recovered, you know? It's like, oh, you know, you're fish food, whatever. Yeah, I hate people. I hate people who jump into traffic. That's a jerk off way to commit suicide. Like anyone who commits suicide that way, I think of as a prick. Like fuck you. You're gonna fucking put your death on someone else's conscience, you piece of shit. Have you ever noticed the Prophet of Islam, and Hong Kong Fooey are never in the same room together? Whoa. I don't have any thoughts on Razor Fist. I don't watch that shit. Yeah, I saw the Page Master when it came out in theaters. Long, long, long fucking time ago. I remember hating it. We all saw it because, like, man, the Home Alone kid's in it. Yeah! Man, that wasn't as good as Home Alone. Sargon is gone. What does that mean? Too many book puns. Yeah, that's true. I knew a guy, never liked him much, who lay on the train tracks to kill himself, got cut into 3 pieces. Jeez. I wouldn't want my body found because I don't want my dad to know I died. I want him to hope I was happy. I don't know. I feel like people need closure. Like, I don't know if it's really. I mean, like, at least if you're dead, that's just a reality he has to come to terms with. But if you just go missing, like, he's gone, you know, then it's like, no, you never know. And he's keeping up hope. He's keeping up hope that one day you'll just be back. But, you know, you're never going to be because you're fucking dead. So, you know, maybe sometimes he escapes into the fantasy that you're off living a happy life somewhere. But, I mean, part of him's always going to think, like, that's bullshit. He's probably dead, but he's never going to know. So it's kind of like a torment. I don't know. I don't think that's nice. I think you're better off just like, hey, I'm dead. Sorry. TJ, frozen pizza tastes better when you heat it up? Yeah, I did. Someone told me that a few streams ago. It's a pretty useful tip, though. How about them butts? Many of them are nice. Some of them are not. Wait, what the fuck? What are you what the fucking? What happened? Let's class this up. I didn't know there was a new Tom Waits single. That's cool. Classy. That frozen pizza thing, unbelievable. I know, dude. Isn't that crazy? Did you know that only true scholars deny the Holocaust and believe in race realism? I did know that. DFF video games, just as a I don't know, it's a pretty broad subject. We try to avoid anything that's like super broad like that, but maybe we could do like the history of video games. That might be cool. Talk about the early days. God damn it, TJ, be entertaining already. I'm sorry, I'm not here to entertain you. Did you know that only true scholars eat ass? Yeah, I did. The most scholarly of fellows only in the ass-eating camp. Deadpool 2 thoughts? I didn't really... I mean, like, first of all, full disclosure, I was not a huge fan of the original film. I know a lot of people really enjoyed it. For me, I don't really care much for the sense of humor. It doesn't offend me or anything. It's just kind of... I don't know. It doesn't really work for me. I don't want to say I don't get it, because I get what the jokes are, but I don't know. I don't get why they're supposed to be super hilarious like apparently some people think they are. But the first Deadpool did have a lot of cool stuff going for it. There was some cool cinematography, some actually good use of slow-mo, which is way overused, but used really effectively there. It was cool. It was a fun little movie. I gave it like a 7. And then, but I wasn't like, oh my God, Deadpool, more. So then Deadpool 2 comes out, and, I don't know, man. It just seemed like the humor was even lamer. There was just so many jokes, like, now it's time for a big CG fight scene, and then they show a CG fight scene, and it's just as boring as it would be in any other generic superhero movie, and I was kind of just like, why did you draw my attention to the fact that you're doing it? Does that somehow excuse the lack of creativity? Like, is that what passes for meta humor now? You just announce the stupid trope you're doing before you do it, and that's a joke? Okay. Well, I guess that's working for some people. I don't know. It's just like it just seemed like the laziest form of satire when it did satire. The only truly funny moment from Deadpool 2 to me was when his X-Force team jumps out of the plane, and they all end up... well, I won't give it away in case someone hasn't seen it and wants to, but they meet a unusual fate, and it's just... that was amusing. I'll give it that. That whole sequence with the auditions and the punchline of the moment they jump out of the plane was pretty great. I'll give the movie that. It was filler, but it was good filler. But overall, I don't know. I thought the jokes were even lamer. I hear the budget was higher, but it doesn't really show on the screen because the action is not as good. I don't know. Just not that fucking impressed with it, but that's just me. I'd give Deadpool 2 a 6 out of 10. So, whatever. I didn't think it was terrible, but... Bryan Singer versus Bill Cosby. I never... that fascination was at some point just a construct of the environment that I was in. I didn't have any genuine personal fascination. It was a fan-pleasing kind of thing. Do you think Star Wars or Star Trek will ever recover? They don't need to recover from anything. You know, they've made some shitty entries into those series, but the episodes that were good will still remain. The movies that were good will still remain. The legacy, I don't think, ultimately can be tarnished. And, you know, other shows will be paying homage to those things. Other shows and movies will be paying homage to those properties for, you know, however long we're continuing to make mass media. The impact of Star Wars and Star Trek was huge on our society, and that's not going away anytime soon. Even if current iterations of the properties do leave something to be desired. Do you think that Infinity War is the peak for Marvel movies? Do I think they can do something to top it? Never say never, but I think it'll be a tough one to top it. I thought it was really good. I'm kind of disenfranchised with Marvel, and I still thought it was good. So, yeah, it was pretty much the perfect culmination of everything they've done up till then. And it threw you for a loop. Aquaman, I'm definitely not seeing. The trailer looks terrible. Shazam, I don't know. I haven't seen a trailer for that. I don't even know if there is one. Iron Man 2 and 3 are dog shit. The Captain Marvel trailer was disappointing. Yeah, I was pretty disappointed with that trailer myself. The Shazam trailer is funny. I'll have to check it out. The Rock is supposed to be the villain in the Shazam movie. Cool. Hope he does a better job than he did in Doom. That's all I can say. Are they actually making an Aquaman film? Ah ha 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 ha. Paul is right. This comic book shit has jumped the shark. Yeah. Yeah, they are. They really are. I don't know about this comic book shit jumping the shark. I think the DCU just sucks. Superhero movies, I mean, they still are huge hits at the box office. Venom, of course, is a huge hit right now, despite being pretty universally panned by critics. So obviously, the momentum is not really slowing at this point. If anything, Infinity War has people super hyped. Night made Meteor? I don't know. Aquaman gets me wet. I get it. Yeah, DC should stick to animation. Their animations are usually pretty watchable. I don't know if they're necessarily great, but I mean, some of them have been pretty fucking awesome. Favorite old TAA video? Define old. You pirate? Yeah. Stay here for a second. I have to piss. I'm back. Oh shit. Infinity War worked because each plot element centered around Thanos. He was the pro-antagonist of the movie. I mean, yeah. Not to mention, for a cinematic universe that has really floundered with its villains for such a long time, Thanos was an astonishingly well-developed antagonist, one of the best villains in film in a long fucking time. We need you to play Fat Thor. Maybe they can cast me as like Thor's cousin or something. Thor's cousin that doesn't give a shit. Did I dabble in Satanism before becoming an atheist? Satanists are atheists. And yeah, I did dabble in it as a teenager, but ultimately found it too restrictive. How? There's too many rules. Fuck rules. I'm not interested. Even if I agree with a rule, I don't necessarily want... I don't like the fucking idea of like, hey, these are things you can't do. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Piece of shit. Fuck you, Satanism. What rules? I don't remember. I was 15 when I read the Satanic Bible. I don't remember that shit now. If Thanos increased the amount of resources, he'd be creating matter, which is likely beyond the scope of the Infinity Gauntlet's power. I don't know how powerful the film version of the Infinity Gauntlet is, but the comic book version pretty much had unlimited power. He was basically God when he had it. Yeah, they have like, yeah, that's an example. Skeptical Jesus. There's just certain sentiments and things that they try to make rules, and it's just like, you know, whatever. If you're down with it, fine, but mean, I feel like the movie version of the Gauntlet must be weaker because when Thanos, does his thing, it seems like the Gauntlet kind of blows up a little. So that's kind of weird. Thanks, Anonymous247. What's the next episode of Getting Off Turk? I don't know. I haven't really thought about which episode I'm going to do as of yet. I don't want to do any of the really, really bad ones. I was thinking about doing one of the moderately bad ones. I think I want to start with ones that are a little bit less completely awful to save the really, really, really shitty ones for when the series is a little more established. Maybe I'll do Skin of Evil. I don't know. I'm honestly thinking maybe I won't limit myself to just even ones that are terrible. Like, I might do some reviews of, like, some mediocre ones. I might even do reviews of some good ones. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if I could make a good review work. Because you could still lovingly mock certain elements, even if you ultimately end up liking it. TJ, question about YouTube. Do you see if a commentator left a like or a dislike? Can you check out how long they've been subscribed? Stuff like that. No, I can't tell who left likes or dislikes. I can't see how long a person's been subscribed. Maybe I can. I've never seen that feature anywhere. As far as the information that YouTube gives me about subscribers, not much more than they would give to anybody who clicked on your channel page. In fact, I don't think they give me any more than what they would, just share on your public profile. Considering your size, you can play Fat White Thanos. Fat White Thanos, holy shit. Hey, did my pants ever come? What the fuck? I ordered pants. They're supposed to be here today. Where the fuck are my pants? What's going on here, Amazon? I don't see no pants. I don't see no pants, bitch. I don't know if I checked the mail today. Whoa. They put my pants in the fucking mailbox? What the shit? Spoopy? Yeah, Galactus would be a good choice for the next big villain. The fucking Planet Eater, man. it should end with Thanos. Maybe it should, I don't know. I guess time will tell. You guys chill here for a minute. Sorry. Fucking pants took forever to get on. Racist butts. Racism is cool. I think people should not have butts. I disagree with you, sir. You and I, we are mortal enemies. What kind of pants? They're like fucking gothy pants. They're super goth. Oh. Here, I'll show you. Ugh. They're for my Halloween costume. Ow! Oh, I don't know how well you'll be able to see them. God damn it. Fucking angle sucks dick. Son of a bitch. I should have got assless chaps. You're right.
don't know how to get a fucking angle on these. Oh well. Fuck it. They're just fucking black pants with a bunch of tears and chains and shit on them. Muslim pants. Oh yeah, they're very Muslim-y. You could see the Muslim influence. Yeah, I'm gonna be an edgelord for Halloween. The selfie stick is useless, they said. Yeah, if I had a selfie stick, this would be no fucking problem. I want to live in the Rick and Morty episode where gerbils live in butts. Whoa. Okay. I don't even want to ask why. Topics. Pants. Look at that shit. Fucking tears and shit. You can see my skin. Sorry to disgust you. With those pants, you can be a high school shooter for Halloween. Yep. I'm going to shoot up a high school. It's going to be good. Thoughts on shoulder bags / fanny packs? I don't really have any, I guess. Should I? I don't. FBI found your location. Oh, shit. Shit. That's why I have to move around so much. They're always finding my new location. You know, this stream isn't patriotic enough. TJ, my ex-girlfriend, has those exact same pants. Cool. Did they have the half kilt? Because mine have a half kilt. I don't know. You can't really see it because it's, whatever. See? Now this is a fucking American stream. I'm pro fucking America. This hat's too tight though. So fuck that. Gord bless America. How do I motivate myself to write a script? I'll tell you when I figure it out. Home of the burger. Yeah. We like burgers. We like burgers. That's what we like. This hat was made in China? I don't know. Let's find out. There might be a tag somewhere. Yep, here's a tag. Made in China. So there you go. Yep. Hello. He's massaging my stomach. I'm not a cat guy. I pet this cat under protest only. You had barbecue cat once? How was that? I have a barbecue grill and I have a cat, so you know. Dude, this cat fucking adores me, and I have no idea why. He's like forced a relationship on me. Is Idaho Tater Thoughts a good name for a porn? No. But you go ahead, man. Live the dream. I have to say, cats are not as smart as dogs. They're more dignified, but they're not as intelligent. Cats are attracted to the person that like them the least. You know, in my household, that seems to be the case. I mean, whatever. I don't hate Squeaks. He's okay for a cat, I guess. You could do worse, but he's still a fucking piece of shit. You just look at him. Get out of here. You're fucking garbage, dude. You're fucking garbage. I put you on the floor for a fucking reason. What is your problem? Can you eat him? Yeah. You can eat him. Yeah, I saw Joe Rogan's new special, and it's actually pretty much the exact same bit that he did in Portland when I saw him live. So there really wasn't much change. It was pretty much the same act that he was doing. Which kind of disappointed me because I wanted to see something new on his Netflix special, but whatever. That's not how it works, I guess. But yeah, I remember the whole vegan cat routine. And I went and looked at the vegan cats and I don't believe in the vegan cat thing. I want to make that clear, but they really didn't look sickly and fucked up like he said they would. I mean, most of them look just like pretty much normal cats. But no, vegan diets are not healthy for cats. That should go without saying. People who feed their cats a vegan diet are really, really stupid. But I didn't notice the apparent signs of sickness that he claimed I would see. TJ, did you see the Shane Dawson, Jake Paul thing? Though I know people only show us what they want us to see, the perspective would possibly be insightful, which is why I ask. I haven't watched it. I don't care for Shane Dawson. I don't care about Shane Dawson. I don't care about, what is it, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, whatever the fuck. I don't care. I'm not interested. It couldn't possibly fascinate me less than it does. So no, I have nothing to say on the subject. I'm really not too fascinated by YouTubers who constantly make videos about each other. Once in a while is all right,
but all the time, Jesus, talk about something more important. Like, get out of your weird little sandbox. Who's one of your favorite YouTubers right now? I mean, most of the ones I like are old school. Um I like Angry Video Game Nerd, Nostalgia Critic, JonTron. Uh, I like Kyle Kalinske of Secular Talk. Um, I mean, those are pretty much the ones I watch when I'm not watching my own videos, which is probably egotistical. I don't know. Chris Stuckman, I don't care for him. I do like Jeremy Johns, all right. Gary Busey as Batman. He might be a good Joker. Yeah, Ann Coulter dropping out of the debate with Kyle Kalinske is pretty fucking lame. I'm glad I didn't buy tickets because I thought about it. Well, it hasn't happened yet. Politicon hasn't happened yet, but he was set to debate Ann Coulter, and I guess she dropped out. And it's not like she's not going to Politicon. She's still going. She's just not going to debate him, and it's not really been made clear why. Yeah, I mean, like, if it was like, I can't come to Politicon because something else came up, then it'd be, okay, well, that sucks, but, life happens, but she's still going to the event, so she's going to be there, so what's the problem with doing this debate? Like, what's your issue? I have to be honest with you. David Pakman debating Roaming Millennial. I have only the vaguest idea who Roaming Millennial is. And David Pakman, yeah, I mean, I like him alright, but I don't really regularly watch his content or anything. Yeah, I mean, the natural person for Kyle Kalinske to debate, in my mind, is Ben Shapiro. That's the debate that really should happen. Like, fuck all this bullshit. Ben Shapiro is the one. I honestly think, and it could just be my liberal bias, I honestly think that Ann Coulter went and checked out the Secular Talk channel and was like, oh fuck, I do not want to do this. That's the only thing I can think of. It's like, maybe she checked out the Razor Fist debate and she's like, oh fuck, my shit is not gonna fly with this motherfucker. I better back the fuck out of this. But I don't know. Maybe it had nothing to do with that. Does anyone think Spider-Man 3 is not really as bad as it's made out to be? Like, I agree that it's bad. Let me make that clear. But is it really, like, horrendous? I don't really think it is, man. You know, I mean, like, am I the only one who didn't hate the scene where Peter Parker was going through like some weird emo dancing phase thing? Like, I get it, it looked dorky as fuck, but I kind of feel like it was supposed to. Like, that was his nerdy impression of what a cool person acts like. So even his, like, I'm cool alternate persona was still like a big dork. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't the intention. I don't know. I feel like it was funny, and I feel like it was meant to be funny. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was intended to be perceived as like a really cool scene, like, oh man, he's really pulling off the cool guy now. But it seemed to me like the intent was very much to make him sort of laughable. But I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Spider-Man dance scene without sound is hilarious. It's hilarious with sound. Yeah, I don't know what the hell was going on. But, I mean, my real complaint about that movie is Venom. You know, you could say what you want about the new movie, and I haven't seen it, so I don't know, but at least they got the look of Venom right. I mean, he looks like Venom. What they did to him in that movie was just fucking shitty. And Topher Grace, I mean, what? How is that at all a natural fit for that role? So that was confusing to me. Make me sleepy. If listening to me talk for an hour hasn't made you sleepy, I don't know what will. Wouldn't a super serious Spider-Man movie kind of undermine the character? I mean, I don't think a Spider-Man movie should be super serious. I don't know where I got that. I don't know where I put that impression out. I just think that scene, that dance scene, is misinterpreted because I think people think that it was intended in a different way than it was. I think it was supposed to be funny. I think it was supposed to be showing him as an unlikable person. I think it was supposed to be funny, and he was supposed to be mockable and kind of cringy. I mean, I don't think every moment in a Spider-Man movie is meant to be funny. I mean, the whole scene in Spider-Man 2 where he's saving the people aboard the train is not supposed to be like, ha 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 ha, oh, Spider-Man and your antics. Like, it can have serious moments, but you know, it's kind of meant to be silly and goofy and comic bookish. The Spider Verse, the guy that they have voicing Peter Parker in that, his voice acting seems really, really bad. And it's a known actor, isn't it? I'm trying to remember who it is, but it just sounded awful. Like it sounded so non-committal and bland and uninteresting. Andrew Garfield, yeah, okay. Well, I didn't like it. Anyway,
probably change these pants. You need a morbidly obese Spider-Man? Why would you need that? My thoughts on PragerU, I mean, they're just right-wing propaganda. I don't know. I mean, I don't agree with them. I think they distort facts oftentimes to put forth dishonest narratives. So, yeah. That's what I think. PragerU is the right-wing BuzzFeed. I don't know. BuzzFeed seems a bit more trivial than PragerU in terms of how they present themselves. Take off these complicated ass multi-part pants. Where the fuck is the goddamn buckle? There it is. Show us, TJ. No. It's too pornographic for you. You can't accept this. Oh, ow. Son of a bitch. These pants are tough. Okay. There we go. Cool. And now put my shorts back on. Back to normal, TJ. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Oh. Be cool to have a huge dick. Wish I had one of those. We need a Spider-Man who is Batman. Holy shit. I think you just solved all the world's problems. Actually. Fuck this. I thought I was done smoking weed for the night, but... I mean, legal tobacco for the night, but fuck that, dude. I need to treat my ADD. Ow. The fuck was that? Falling apart. Smoke da pan. Smoke da pan, my man. Dennis Prager has cringy articles on his sex life. What? Are you serious? That's not true. I refuse to believe that. Thoughts on The Good Place. What is that? Sounds familiar. I don't know. I can't put my finger on what that is. Have you ever seen Dominican Poison? She's just fantastic. Who the fuck is Dominican Poison? Is that some Instagram model or something with a huge ass? Because that's what I hope it is. DFF Pat Robertson versus Jim Baker. That could be fun. The battle of the fucking charlatans. Pat Robertson would clearly win, though. He's got way more money. By the way, she's a lesbian. Who's a lesbian? Fatter man eats all the Pringles out the can. 2-liter donuts too. Chocolate milk and then a poo. Look out, he is fatter man. All he sees, he devours. This is his only power. Look out, here comes fatter man. He's gonna take a literal bite out of crime. Deal with all this. Deal with the fucking Green Goblin way faster than Spider-Man. He'd be like, fricasseed goblin. Oh, I love it. Oh, how many calories is in this? Just kidding. I don't give a fuck. Take a big bite of the Green Goblin. Yeah, Matter Eater lad. I forgot about that fucking character. It's a pretty cool power. What about a sidekick, Vorboy? Okay, you're getting a little too kinky now. You're getting into kinkster territory. Giving him a fucking Vorboy sidekick. The vegan goblin. Oh god. I can already see it. Fatter man, does whatever a fat fuck can. Can he sit on a couch? Yes, he can. He's a slouch. Look out. Here comes fatter man. What's your opinion on feederism and BBWs? I don't really care for feederism. I've known some people into that. I even kind of tried to get into it, like, at some point. But I was just like, eh. Eating is eating. Sex is sex. I don't know if they're connected in my mind in that way. Like, I'm gonna tie you to a chair and feed you cakes. It's like, that sounds like a good time, but it doesn't really sound like a sexy time. It just sounds like a gluttony time. You know? And the as for BBWs, yeah, I could get down with that. Like a bitch with some girth. Why are most people into BDSM and other kinks SJWs? They're not. There's tons of conservatives into BDSM. When I actually tried to connect to the BDSM community and go to some events and shit and see what it was all about, I met a police officer that was into the community. I met a priest that was into the community. I met a oil rig worker that was into the community. All of them working conservative professions and being fairly conservative people. So, you know,
Maybe I think probably SJW types are maybe just more open with it. Tongue Gun 2, the next lick. Cool. Oh shit. I guess I'm missing chats. This joint's not hitting very well. This weed is very wet. So it's not the greatest joint weed. You gotta keep that shit till your lungs are black, lol. That's actually a common misconception. There have been studies done to see if you get any higher by holding it in your lungs, and they've all pretty much proven that no, that doesn't do anything. So it's a waste of effort. Microwave it for 30 seconds. Yeah, well, I already rolled it in here, so whatever. It's hitting all right, just not as well as I'd like. Is ball busting a medically safe fetish? No. I mean, have you seen ball busting porn? There's dudes that just get straight up kicked in the balls by women like as hard as they fucking can. They're just like, motherfucker, yeah, take that shit. And they crumple on the floor. No, that's not medically safe. You know, and, you know, hey, if you're into that and that's what you want to do, rock on, have fun, but don't convince yourself that you're engaging in some sort of safe activity that has no risks, because you're not. That is horrible. Yeah, well, for some guy out there, he's got a big old boner thinking about it. So, you know, whatevs. You don't got to do it. That's his business. That's between him and his mistress Cindy or whatever the fuck. Foot fetishes seem to be so common that I'm not even sure that it's necessarily a fetish. Like, you know, at what level of widespreadness does it cease to be really a fetish? Because it seems to me like a huge amount of people are into feet. Now, I don't get it. I look at a foot and I don't see anything that's like the least bit sexual about a foot. It's like one of the ugliest parts of the human body. But, yeah, I guess some people, a lot of people, really into feet. Why do you think incest porn is so popular? Like, how popular really is it? I don't know. Maybe it's huge. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't necessarily think that people are into their own family members, but maybe the idea of someone else doing that somewhere is fascinating. They weave it into a lot of storylines. You know, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's probably not people just like super, like, man, I want to fuck my sister so bad. But maybe it is. I don't know. it could be something primal and ancestral. Could just be like the taboo that people are fascinated by. I don't know. I don't know my biological family, so I've never had the chance to know. Oh, are you adopted, Clout? I mean, I guess that's pretty obvious. Never mind. Are you able to see my funny comments? I don't know. I guess I saw that one. I don't think that one's funny, but I might have just missed the others. I feel bad for people attracted to their mom or other family members. Yeah, that would suck. Do you like Mr. Meadowker? I've liked some of his videos. I don't know him as a person. What's your favorite one-liner? I don't know. Probably something said by Rodney Dangerfield. It can be incest even if they are not related. If you were raised with someone and they have the role of your mother or father, then to your psyche they are. I mean, I guess. Yeah, sure. Welcome to prime time, bitch. Is sex with a third or fourth cousin incest? I mean, all human beings are related, so at some level, all sex is incest. But I don't know. I guess how far removed a relative has to be before it's okay to fuck them? I don't know. I don't know what the criteria is there. No, that's not how psyche is spelled, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. I understood what you were saying. I think they are cousins. I think they say cousins are actually not that dangerous to have kids with. Yeah, I don't know. I'm no geneticist. I'm no biologist. I think it's fine unless you raise someone into it. I mean, I can understand that on one level, but on another level, it's like, are you ever really out of, like, some level of control of your parents? Even when you're an adult and independent, they still have, like, some sway and authority in your life, So, I don't know. Maybe it's, and it's kind of suspicious, like if, let's say we institute a rule as a society that it's like, as long as you don't, like, brainwash someone into having sex with you, incest is okay. Well then, every time some dude is like, yeah, me and my daughter, we're fucking now. She's 18, it's alright, Aren't you going to be kind of suspicious that that dude, raised that girl to do that, Like he pushed her towards that throughout her development? I would be. So I don't know. I think that's probably an exploitable system. What's keeping him from doing it now? Fair enough point. I mean, yeah, I guess, Maybe it's better that it's just out in the open. I'm glad that none of my family is attractive, so I don't have to deal with this. I guess people say my mom is attractive, but I cannot find that thought appealing at all. Like, that's pretty disgusting to me. But, you know, like, imagining some other dude fucking his mom, you know, that doesn't seem necessarily that gross. It's not my mom. I don't give a shit. I guess that's probably why incest porn is popular. It's just like taps into some kind of voyeuristic urge in people. Like, you know, they want to be there to see someone else's dirty little secret or something. Just to be clear, everyone, incest is not okay from a gene perspective, even before the next generation of kids. What? I'd say incest is attractive either because taboo or love or both, and someone you've known for a while and unconditionally love. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like familial love and sexual attraction are usually not the same. You know? But I guess maybe for some people the wires get crossed. I'd say it's attractive because it's representation of primal forces overpowering social mores. That's an interesting take. 99% of incest porn is fake anyway. Yeah, but we're just trying to figure out why people are so into it. Because apparently it's a pretty popular genre. So we're trying to figure out what's the appeal, what's the social force. Because I feel like 99% of people, if you ask them like, hey, are you attracted to any family member of yours? They're going to say no. And I think most of them are going to mean that, you know? So it's obvious that there's not a shit ton of people out there wanting to actually do incest. But at the same time, it's popular in porn, so, you know, what's the deal with that? TJ Moores is pronounced mores. Okay, thank you. Social mores. I noticed a strong taboo will get someone off without them being specifically into the thing. Maybe. I think people like it because they know it's fake. Well, I mean, that doesn't resolve the question of what the appeal is, you know. There's lots of different scenarios that are fake in porn. Most of them are. You know, but why does that one resonate so deeply is the question. Not, you know, I mean, people know that what they're watching is probably not real. Maybe for some it's due to lack of exposure to other people, seclusion except with family members. Yeah, a lot of people have a lot of different ideas about what the fuck is going on. Up until 100 or so years ago, people didn't travel more than 50 miles from where they were born. So most people spent time with close family. Yeah. Incest is very popular within Islamic culture. Is it? What if people just click on the vids with the most attractive actors and don't care about the story? Well, why would all the most attractive actors would be constantly sucked into doing incest porn? Like, yeah, I don't know. thoughts about giantess stuff. It's never been my thing. I've seen some cool artwork depicting various scenarios and shit, and even a few decent photoshops, but it never really did much for me. Paul is actually... Oh, shit. RIIIICK does incest porn constantly. I'm not really familiar with who that is. I don't really know a whole lot of porn stars, honestly. I kind of see them in like little clips and shit. I have a TJ Kirk fetish. Cool. But yeah, I don't really tend to memorize names and get super into someone's catalog in terms of that. Lava bug porn. That's the hottest porn there is, dude. You can't even top that shit. What time is it in the US? Well, we have like several different time zones. So if you want to know what time it is in my part of the US, it's 4:24 a.m. You're just a normie, TJ. I'm definitely not. And if you and your cousin match, just like any other relationship, you have sex. What? I think I missed some context. I don't know what the fuck is going on there. I like when a group of gimps go ham on a gal. Whoa. I don't think I've seen that. TJ, what was the name of that fetish you're into with like decapitating chicks or whatever? I remember you mentioned it back on an old Q&A. I'm just into like vor and cannibalism artwork and shit. I don't know if anyone's familiar with like Dulcet or anything, but yeah, like Goro shit. Goro is gross. I mean, a lot of it is. I guess a lot of people would even say it fundamentally is, but I don't know. I don't really feel that way. Another thing I like is Futanari. I like chicks with dicks. I consider that I consider that the best of both worlds. So that's definitely cool. And I like spanking. So those are pretty much my three things. Oh, and just like big dick anal in general is cool. Sex is okay, but I like drugs much better. Yeah, I like both. I don't know which one I like best. You are the gayest person I know who doesn't act gay. Cool. I take that as a compliment. I've never really been too into like the homosexual stereotype behavior, like the limp wrist flamboyance and shit. You know, obviously I don't, judge people by that in any sort of meaningful way, but I find it personally kind of annoying. So I'm glad that I don't come across like that. I always wondered why some gay people adopt the same Liberace persona. I think it's just natural. I think that's just a natural sort of personality type that exists. It's weird because, not many things are associated with an accent that are like that, they just like, hey guys, oh my god, yeah. Like, why do they all talk like Valley Girls? I mean, not all of them. Why do so many? And it's like, like when I was in school, there was kids that everybody knew was gay. They were totally in the fucking closet, but they still talked like that and acted like that. It was just a more subdued version, Like, hi guys, what's up? Cool. Yeah, that's totally awesome. Oh, yeah, she's like hot. Yeah. Oh, I'm into her. Yeah. That's weird, you know? I want to be rich. What can I sell? Butt plugs. American flag butt plugs. There are some 100% straight men who act that way too. Really? Because I've never met one. And if I did, I'd probably just assume they were in the closet. So maybe I just don't know. Maybe I'm making assumptions. I mean, I'm definitely making assumptions. What I'm saying is maybe my assumptions are wrong, which I tend not to consider. But, it's hard to question your own biases. You've never met a bisexual who talks like a Valley girl? I have. They're out there, believe me. I'll tell you something I know about even the gayest dude. There is at least one bitch that he wants to fuck. Every gay dude I've ever known has had that one bitch that he would stop being gay for. Maybe that's an offensive notion to some people, but goddamn it, it is true. From all my observations, it is goddamn true. Example of that one girl. Like, I got a gay uncle, for instance. Totally gay. Loves black dudes. That's his thing. He's super into black guys, right? He loves, like, Jamaican dudes and, like, big, buff, rippling muscle kind of black dudes, like, yeah. That's his thing. He sees that shit and he's like, oh, yeah, plug up my asshole with that now. But the fucking dude has the fucking most schoolboy crush ever on Captain Janeway from Star Trek Voyager. He would rock that bitch's world, okay? He would destroy that bitch. So, there's anecdotal piece of evidence number one to support this supposition. Was not expecting that. Hey man, that was he watches that show. The dude has probably seen every episode of Voyager like 150 times. He scarcely watches anything else. And you know what? Just as every gay dude has that one woman, every straight dude probably has that one dude. I'm not as sure about that, but I'm pretty fucking sure. They're more guarded. Yep. Don't even say no. Don't even lie. You just haven't met Mr. Right yet, dude. They don't like it. See, they had no objection to the gay thing, but when you try to put it on them, they're like, "No, no way, fuck you." You know he's out there. Don't even. You can lie to me, but you can't lie to yourselves. You can't lie to yourselves. For a lot of you, I think it'd just be a clone of yourself. Like, just clone yourself. It's like, oh man, this is so fucking hot. I can go fuck myself. Yes! Yes, I can be fucked by myself. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day for me. If I met a clone of myself, I'd vomit to death. That's awesome. Self-love. I would rather acknowledge who I am rather than trying to understand why I am not the person I expected to be. Rock on, dude. You have plausible deniability forever if you had a clone of yourself. The more clones you have, the better off you are. Like, imagine if you had like 6 million clones scattered throughout this whole country. Like, you could pretty much get away with whatever, carte blanche, until the genocide. Because eventually people would be like, fuck this. We are not living with these fucking TJs anymore. Enough of these fuckers. It's time for a fucking Holocaust. 6 million fucking TJs died. That's nothing, of course, compared to what happened in 1988, but you guys probably all remember that 90% of the population was killed in the war of 1988. But the government covered it up. Hashtag TJ Lives Matter, dude. Create a pyramid scheme with your clones. Hell yeah. Be like fraternal orders of the TJ and shit. Have you noticed recently people seem to be becoming more and more extreme on political, social issues? Do you think this will get worse and worse until some sort of all-out chaos? Oh yeah. I'm waiting for it. I'm eagerly anticipating just how crazy shit's gonna get. I might not like it when it gets here, but goddamn, I'm looking forward to it now. I want to see how crazy this shit can get. I don't think it's going to reach Civil War levels, but I think that it's going to reach levels of like maybe I've heard some people call it the Cold Civil War. I think maybe they're right. There's little skirmishes here and there, and I feel like those skirmishes are just going to get worse and worse. But the reason you couldn't really have a civil war is because there's no geography to it anymore. You know, it's just and there's so many factions, you know. you wouldn't really know who's the friend and who's the enemy. So it's not like you could get like, hey, it's two armies fighting against each other. It's more just like, we're gonna burn your fucking building down. We're gonna shut down your shit. We're gonna do this to you and blah blah blah. And I want to turn on the news and hear like, Antifa murdered 3 Nazis, and in retaliation, the Antifa headquarters was bombed and shit, and it's like, oh shit, wow, there's like terrorism in the streets and shit. This is fucking like sci-fi dystopia shit. All right, we're finally getting our sci-fi dystopia, dude. Hell yeah. Confusing times, people turn to worse and worse leaders. Eventually, America's a fucking weird soup. It either becomes like, depending on who wins, ultimately, it's either like a Christian theocracy where you're not allowed to do shit, or it's like a fucking SJW shit hole where you can't do shit, and it's just gonna be awful. And it's like both sides fighting are just reprehensibly evil and bad and restrictive. And the American people are just like caught in the middle, like, fuck. Oh my god, we're surrounded by fucking fascists. Holy shit. What are we gonna do? How'd this happen? Oh, it's gonna be great. Are you sure this isn't happening currently? It's starting. We'll see. I really think that maybe we ought to start seriously looking into this multi-country solution. Like, hey, America's 7 countries now. So, let's all just agree to get along and stuff, but now we're all doing our own shit, Isn't that what states are for? Yeah, but states still bow down to federal authority. I'm talking about 7 new federal authorities, each with their own totally different laws and policies and constitutions and all that. Why 7? I just pulled a number out of my ass. I'm just saying, maybe it's time for us to split this motherfucker up a little bit. Quell tensions. Dude, that's terrible. That recipe for war. I think that might be the only way to avert war. But maybe you're right. As soon as you split up, you'd be conquered. Well, no, I envisioned it more like they're all kind of like in a European Union style thing where, everyone's economically cooperative with one another, and the infrastructure of our country is built like that. So we'd still have to have open borders between the countries and things like that. There'd have to be certain agreed upon rules, but, What are your feelings towards a one-world government instead of splitting up? There's already a monopoly of military power. I don't know if I support the one-world government necessarily, but I think it's inevitable. I don't know, you just look at human history and the pattern seems pretty clear. We started off as tribes, and then tribes became villages, and villages became, towns, and towns became cities, and cities became city-states, and city-states became states and countries and provinces, and, it just seems like we've constantly moved towards the direction of more and more consolidation. So I don't see why that trend would stop. We already have 3 major superpowers in the world, with maybe some nascent superpowers emerging. So, yeah. I think that maybe at some point someone takes over the whole shebang. It's all military with you, isn't it? Isn't TJ? What? Explain yourself. I don't get your comment. Um, it. Yeah, I don't understand the question. The military thing. Why exactly do people like the military so much? I'm not sure. It's very strongly propagandized. So, I mean, we're supposed to like it. We're fed the line of they're fighting for our freedom. They're fighting for our freedom, like constantly. We're fed it as kids. We continue to be fed it as adults. You know, we got to salute the troops before the football game and put bumper stickers in our car telling them how we support the troops. And, you know, it's just constantly pushed down our throats. The gratification of the virtuous. To offer a perspective from people who have family that likes the military, it's predictable. Your parents join the military, you join the military, you know it, you grow up around it. That's true. I mean, a lot of families are intimately intertwined with the military. Now, I don't come from a military family, so I don't really know much about that culture. I guess my stepdad was a Navy guy. Many military Trump supporters will lose military respect if it's a liberal veteran. I've seen it happen a lot. Yeah, well, it's because most people care more about their politics than any of the groups they claim to care about. You know, it's just like liberals. You know, we love black people. We love black people. We love black people. Well, I'm a black conservative. Oh, well, we don't love you. It's the same with the Republicans. We love the military. We love the military. We love the military. Well, I'm a liberal serviceman. Oh, well, we hate your guts. You're a disgrace. So it's just hypocrisy. And I hate it. But it's not going away. How much more of people complaining about non-existent racism and sexism until people finally shut up? I mean, racism and sexism are not non-existent, obviously, but you know, there's so many things that are totally not racism or sexism that are interpreted as being that, which I think is what you're trying to say. But you know, it's just a matter of different sensibilities. You know, there's statements that to one person are not racist and to another person they are racist, and racist is just a made-up word, so people are going to give it whatever definition they want. It's kind of just this big semantic argument, and no one can ever win a semantics argument because it all boils down to perception. Racism against every race exists, yeah. You know, there's no denying it. All words are made up. Yeah, but when I say it's made up, I don't mean just obviously all words are made up in a certain sense. But what I'm saying is, if I have a word for cup, we can all agree what a cup is, you know? If I have a word for table, we can all agree on what a table is. If I have a word for sandwich, we can all agree on what a sandwich is. But when it comes to concept words like racism, everyone's got a different idea about what that constitutes. It's not as definitive. It's not that kind of noun, you know? So wrong. Really? What I do? I know what you mean. I just enjoy hearing you explain things. Well, fuck you. Whatever. In-group, out-group mentality exists is basically what we were talking about. Okay. There's this Tumblr post going around. I keep seeing of someone pretending to be you. It's so annoying. Yeah. I've seen that. There is a dude on Tumblr with a fake account that's going around pretending to be me and saying really stupid shit. But what are you gonna do? I think anyone who knows me knows pretty quickly that it's not me. Tumblr in 2018, yeah. I had a Tumblr at one point. I guess I still do, but I don't really go to it that much. I post videos there, but I don't really participate in it anymore. Tell us about the meetup where someone brought a gun. There was a dude who came to our LA DFF meetup who brought 2 airsoft guns in a trench coat, and he was apparently trying to look like someone from Reservoir Dogs or Boondock Saints or something like that. And you know, obviously venue security was not too pleased with that incident. He almost got shot. The security guy said he was like this close to fucking shooting the dude. Luckily, the security guard was familiar with what airsoft guns looked like and realized it wasn't an actual gun. Do you think the left-right dichotomy is a useful one? Because I think it's overly simple and just leads to tribalism. Yeah, I do think it's overly simplistic. I think most people recognize that, but they're not sure what other paradigm to use. The venue was incredibly accommodating considering the situation. Yeah, they were. You know, they still let us perform our show. They still let us hang out for like an hour. But ultimately, I guess they didn't feel safe. So, whatever. Our meetups are too dangerous for LA clubs, I guess. My mentality is honestly kind of like, you know, so what? Dude had some airsoft guns. You know, you took them from him, you kicked him out. Problem solved. Let's move on with the night. You know, isn't security specifically to weed those people out? You know, and it did its job. You know, it was successful in what it was endeavoring to do. So fuck that, honestly, but. Do you think polygamy should be legal? Yeah. I don't see why it shouldn't be. I'm all for the consenting adults argument there. Um, I don't really like the term centrist. I don't consider myself a centrist, but it's I get slapped with it a lot. I mean, honestly, it's kind of fun to be me because I'll see people be like, "You're an SJW fucking puppet. You're on George Soros's payroll. You're a lying fucking liberal piece of shit." And then I'll see people that are like, "You are a fucking Trump endorsing piece of shit. You're a racist. You're a sexist. You're in the Koch brothers' pocket. You know, uh, you're alt-right." What? And then other people are like, "You fucking centrist, fence-riding piece of fucking shit, dude." I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm everything then. I'm a centrist, and I'm a radical left winger, and I'm a radical right winger. Maybe I am all those things. Maybe they're all right. I don't know how, but maybe I do somehow embody all three of those things into a single personage. If so, I'm grateful to be such a unique specimen. There's no one else I'd rather be but me. But with a 10-foot dick. Maybe not 10 feet. 10 inches is probably better. Don't you agree with Kyle on most political issues? Yeah. I do. I consider myself to be a liberal, but a lot of liberals don't want me. That's okay. I don't want them either. Hey, kitty. Are you hungry? Do you want some food? Kitty? It's up there. Go get it. Get out of here. Get out of here. Need for you. Don't be a jerk. What would happen if the government stopped regulating marriages? I don't know. You'd probably see some weird marriages. I usually don't feed him, though. Why am I going back outside? I just want to smoke more cigarettes. Fuck that. Be responsible, TJ. Don't smoke. Should we abolish the CIA? I don't know. I'd have to do more research to answer that kind of question. I've not dedicated much brain power to the CIA. Not that I have much brain power to spare anyway. Actually, I'm going to go with this. Abolish any and all hierarchies. I don't think that's possible. I mean, that's much too ingrained in our biology for us to just easily disregard it. But I don't know. And you'd have to come up with some other manner of organizing. I don't think you can. Sadly, everything is survival of the fittest. Yeah. Salmon? Yeah, salmon's good. Does that guy want to abolish the parent-child hierarchy and just let children do what they want? I've honestly heard people support that idea. I was like, well, what if your child runs into traffic? Shouldn't you stop them? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, well, you're insane. So I'm not listening to you anymore. Well, at least they're consistent. I will always give it up to people who are at least consistent. Consistently retarded. Better than just inconsistent. I'd rather someone be consistently retarded than inconsistent. Like, I'm going to be smart 1 minute and then a total fucking idiot the next. All right. Why are you going to do that, though? You're going to demonstrate that you can think and then refuse to? All right. Go ahead. Isn't that you when you were doing a bit, TJ? I'm not talking about a fucking bit, dude. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just fall back into like dumb arguments that are lame. Usually it's with religion. Like someone who's a perfectly intelligent person, you'll bring up the God thing and they just like every standard they have just immediately changes. It's like it's coming from a different part of their fucking brain than everything else they believe. Do you think the age of consent should be lowered since the internet has changed the rate at which people are educated? Because I'm 18 now and I'm pretty much the same mentally as when I was 13. No, I don't think it should be changed. I think that most states have it between 16 and 18. And I think that's pretty much fine. I don't think that you want a bunch of predatory adults descending on 13-year-olds. And I don't know that I trust your assessment of yourself, you know, either in the sense that you think, oh, I haven't matured at all since I was 13. I mean, I'm sure you've changed somewhat. I feel like the country is going to shit. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's been there for a while. I think it's been in shit for quite some time. Oh. I've had depression so bad, I think I've had memory loss. LMAO. Shit. I didn't know depression caused memory loss. Going to shittier shit. Yeah. It's getting even shittier. Next World War will be the West saving women from the easy. Okay. Did you mean East? I still don't get it, but. Predictions for the midterms. The safe predictions are that the Democrats will probably gain control of the House, but not the Senate. And that'll pretty much be it. I don't have any bombshell predictions about it. I pretty much expect that to happen. Democrats probably won't win either. No, I think they stand a pretty good chance of winning the House. But they're not going to win the Senate. They could, I guess, but they're probably not going to. Blue wave goes here. The toilet, yeah. I think there'll be I don't think it's going to be a blue wave. I think it's probably just going to be maybe the beginnings of a blue trickle. That's probably about the best you could say for it. But we'll see. I mean, I could be totally fucking wrong. Do you think the left will ever be in charge again, or is this it? I've been around long enough to hear predictions about how, one party is just going to dominate from now on. But I mean, the reality is these two parties have gone back and forth forever. I mean, not forever, but for quite some time. And, when I remember I was watching when Obama went in, there was people saying like, this is it. This is just like the country is just Democrat now. Like they control everything. They came in on a wave of huge popularity. The Republicans fucked the economy. This is it. It's going to be Democrats in charge from now on. And 2 years later, uh, the Republicans started winning shit back. So it kind of just bounces around. The Kavanaugh hearing has got the right wing worked up. Think it's damaged the chance of a big blue wave. It seems to have energized both sides. So I don't know if maybe the fact that the Democrats lost the whole Kavanaugh thing, which I mean they were always going to lose it, maybe that hurts them. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty clear that they've left a taint on Kavanaugh, though. So, uh, they're not going to let up either. Do you think that at this point in time we should try and start implementing online voting? No, I know maybe it shows my age or something, but I just don't think you should be able to vote online. I don't know. I feel like voting day should be a national holiday. I don't think anyone should have to work on it. Obviously some services have to be maintained, but anything that's non-essential just shouldn't be open. Voting time should be longer. It should probably be done over a weekend. Um, you know, Stuff like that. Try to ensure better turnout, but of course Republicans don't want better turnout. So you can vote by mail. Why not online? I don't think you should be able to vote by mail either. I think you should have to show up in person and vote. I mean, Trump is not the worst Republican I've seen in my lifetime. Bush was worse. People who think Bush was better must have fucking amnesia. until Trump gets us embroiled in some pointless boondoggle war that costs tons of money and lives, I'm going to say that Bush is worse. Trump hasn't exactly pulled us out of any of the countries that we're interfering in, but at least he hasn't started up a new war yet. Maybe he will. Maybe he's just waiting. People think his trolling is worse than Bush's policies. Yeah, and they're stupid. It's such a superficial standard. It's like they don't care what the president does, they only care about what he says, and that's just totally ass backwards. I'm not saying that what Trump does is great either, but do we already talk butts? Let's talk butts. Yeah, go ahead. Tell us your thoughts on butts ideology. I like them personally. Cool. Dominican Poison has a nice butt. Cool. 3 presidents would be better than 1. Yeah, that would not be better. Yeah, I don't really care much for Christian Bale, but it looks like a pretty impressive transformation in a Dick Cheney. So I gotta say, and I'm usually not a fan of age makeup, but goddamn, it was pretty fucking close to flawless in that trailer. So I'm gonna say fuck yeah, I'm gonna see the Cheney movie. Why are butts attractive evolutionarily? Well, I mean, most animals are not bipedal. They're, they walk on all fours. So when they look at a female's backside, what are they looking at? I mean, they're looking for like, yeah, that pussy is open there, but they're also looking at that ass, dude. Not necessarily to do anal or anything, but that's like a display. Like, look at that. That female's butt signals to me in some way that she is fertile, and I must conquest it. Big butt equals wide hips, yeah, and them's birthing hips. You right. Yeah, fat storage, wide hips, good genetics. So, yeah, that's why it developed into a sexual display. But the tits, a woman's breasts. I mean, every other mammal on Earth, I think, I could be wrong on this, but I believe that every other animal, every other mammal, their breasts only become enlarged when they're nursing. But human women maintain their large breasts, throughout the course of their adult lives, and the reason for that is because it's mimicking the display of what the back used to be the big display. Now there's a front display because we're bipedal now. So that's tits are just like evolutionarily speaking, tits are just an imitation of ass. So now you know. People who like tits over asses are they're just like an ass 2.0. That's all they're liking. We got rid of the hole, but we added some nipples. So there you go. What you're saying is very biased from your male perspective. No. I'm just talking about evolutionary pressures, dude. I don't see how my male perspective comes into it. You just watched Green Mile. What do you want? The fucking Green Mile Award? Son of a bitch. You got problems, boy. You got fucking problems. Are you still rambling? Yes. Yes, I am, CJ. You inferior being. The door is open, TJ. Okay. Big yawn, go to sleep, master. No, you do not control me. I will do as I please, and you will have no influence on my behavior. Trying to scare you with ominous comments because you're tired. Oh yeah, I'm fucking terrified. You got me. You got me. I'm fucking scared now. Pissing my fucking panties, dude. See my panties? I just pissed them. The gaping maw of the beast. TJ, is it me or are you slowly gaining subscribers again? I don't know. I don't really pay attention to it that much, honestly. When will Jordan Peterson stop being a thing? I feel like he has. Like, I haven't seen nearly the hype around him that existed just a few months ago. Decapitate me, TJ, please. No, I like your head attached, bro. I'll let you keep it. Mm-hmm. Jordan's fans have kind of turned on him. Shocking. Can't believe it. Who could have ever foreseen? What Nietzsche have you read? Or your thoughts on his sort of disdain for democracy? I think most people have a healthy disdain for democracy, especially at this point. As for what Nietzsche I've read a great deal of his aphorisms. I've read The Antichrist. I've read Thus Spake Zarathustra. Um, and I've read some of you know the genealogy of morals and beyond good and evil, the morality stuff. Uh, but the Antichrist and Thus Spake Zarathustra are probably the only two full books I've read. But and and the aphorisms. I have a book that's the complete writings of Nietzsche, and what were you doing in there? And I read them. I read out of it pretty often, but I don't necessarily read it in order. So it's kind of hard to tell how much I've read of certain of the books. I kind of just open to random pages and start reading, which might not be the best way to absorb the philosophy, but I have my peculiarities. I'll be honest with you, the only the Antichrist, reading that from cover to cover, I am still not 100% sure what the fuck was going on in that book. Like, I feel like I understood about 20% of it, but I was younger, so maybe I'd get like 30% now. Yeah, you gotta read Nietzsche real fucking slow, because he's really fond of big, extravagantly dense paragraphs that are very meticulously constructed, but also very challenging to the reader. Yeah, my understanding is that a lot of Nietzsche's humor doesn't translate well to English, which is unfortunate. Yeah, Nietzsche really does kind of invite like deeper reflection. But a lot of it's just because he's really hard to read. For me, anyway. I'm sure there's people who are just like, Nietzsche, that's a fucking breeze. But for me, I'm like, okay, let me read that sentence for the 15th time. See if I grasp it now. Does he mean this? No. Princess Peacha. Oh, Wittgenstein makes fucking Nietzsche look goddamn easy. Because with Nietzsche, like the stuff I was talking about doing with Nietzsche, just opening any random part of the book and reading something, eventually you'll kind of catch up. With Wittgenstein, you can't do that, because you have to understand a whole series of premises, and they're numbered and shit, and it's like, if you don't grasp the last one, you won't grasp the next one, because they're all interdependent. So that's very, very, very difficult to read. That's nothing compared to Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson's nothing. He's an easy read. He it's basically just, here's a paragraph of sentences you understand, and then here's one sentence that makes no sense to make me sound smarter than I am. Okay, cool. Rock on. I got the formula. Peterson doesn't seem to understand Nietzsche at all. I think he does. I'm not going to take that away from him. I just think that... I mean, I know exactly where Peterson and I diverge philosophically, and it does concern Nietzsche. I mean, I kind of outlined it in chapter 2 of the book, or 3 maybe. I think it was 2. No, it was 3. Where me and Jordan Peterson diverge is in our solutions to God being dead. Because we both agree with the fundamental Nietzschean statement that God is dead. Peterson's solution seems to be to try to revive God in a modified form. My solution is to embrace chaos. But then again, that's always my solution. Why do I think Peterson has so many followers? Because he pwns the libtards. Uh-oh, libtard wrecked. Libtard pwnzord. And for some people, that's all they want in life, is to just see the liberals RIIICK wrecked. It's maybe not the best thing in life, but it's the best thing for them. You wanna go out now? Hey, Salvador, be nice. What the fuck's your problem? I know. Salvador, stay. Peterson doesn't believe in the Ubermensch. Yeah, neither do I. Well, not as Nietzsche defined it anyway. Damn it. Fuck. Oh, man. Shit. What was plugged into those? Fuck, I don't know. Let's see here. God damn this fucking shit. All right. There's a guy bitching about the Jews now. Who is ready to make changes to save the planet? I guess I am. Let's do it. What do I have to give up? The planet is fine. Oh, yeah, it's doing great. Ocean acidity levels rising, coral reefs dissolving, giant fucking garbage island in the middle of the fucking ocean. Global temperatures rising every year. It's doing great. It's so awesome. TJ, remember, embrace the chaos. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, nature wanted Garbage Island, dude. That was the whole purpose of humanity. Would Nietzsche support the alt right if he were alive? I don't presume to speak for what Nietzsche would support. I'm not claiming to be any sort of great expert on Nietzsche. I can't extrapolate what his position would be. To know what his position would be, I'd have to claim to understand his mind, and I don't. How are you supposed to convince anyone of anything? Most people do not value rationality. Welcome to the riddle of my life. Would Ayn Rand be a Republican? No. She's way to the right of most Republicans. He would definitely be right wing. Extreme nationalism. What is that? It's not fair for the rich to pay more. It's that simple. Even if the system requires they pay more, it's not fair. They're not all rich because they're supervillains. I don't care. I don't really give a shit about being fair to them. Like, I don't think it's fair that they control vast swatches of wealth, and I don't feel bad about them not being able to be as wealthy. I'm not against wealth, but Do I think a person who made $1 million in a year should pay more taxes, a higher percentage of taxes than a person who made, $15,000 in a year? Yeah. If you charge that person who made $15,000 a year 10%, that's fucking brutal. If you charge them 30%, that's fucking like basically you're just starving them. You charge a person who made $1 million 30% or 40% or 50%, they're going to be just fine. So there you go. I don't feel bad for them. I don't know. Tax isn't supposed to be punitive. Yeah, I don't think that anyone should be destroyed by their tax burden. But if what we're talking about is a rich person being not quite as rich, boo fucking who? Cry me a river. I feel bad for them. I think your sympathy is misplaced. Feel bad for the people sleeping in tents under bridges. That's who you should feel bad for, not a rich guy who had to pay his taxes instead of buying a fucking gold swimming pool. The flat tax is one of the dumbest fucking ideas in history. Flat tax system is the only fair system. It's not fair at all. It's like a horribly unfair system. Because if a person makes $20,000 in a year and there's a flat tax of, let's say, 10%, that means they only made $18,000 that year. So fuck that. That's dog shit. Person makes 20 million, they get to make 18 million. What? It's a tax that disproportionately penalizes the poor. You're assuming rich people get rich unfairly. No. I mean, a lot of them do, but no. I don't care how they got rich. I don't care if they got rich fairly or unfairly. They're going to pay their fucking taxes. And they're going to pay it at a progressive rate. Just make more. Actually, it disproportionately targets the rich. We just don't care because they can afford it. Seems to be the argument. Yeah. Wait, you're talking about a flat tax disproportionately affects the rich? That's totally false. Because for a poor person, the difference between, having that 10% of their income or not having it makes a huge, drastic difference in their lives. A millionaire making 18 million instead of 20 million is going to have no impact on his life whatsoever. So a flat tax would definitely disproportionately affect poor people.
difference between 15 and 20 is the same, no matter if it's thousands, millions, or billions. No, that's false. What about the fact that they consider corporations people, and so when they say cut taxes, they aren't cutting them for rich people necessarily? It's for corporations. Corporations need to pay. A flat tax could work if there was a price floor of 35K or so. I haven't thought about the possibility of just a corporate flat tax, so I don't know on that. But as far as for citizens go, I don't know. Flat tax plus basic universal income. Um, like there'd be a minimum amount of money that people would have to make at the end of the day. I don't know. I think that probably a more practical solution, if you wanted to embrace the flat tax thing without creating the problems I'm talking about, is to just not tax any income over a certain amount or below a certain amount. If someone only made, uh, let's say, $30,000 or less in a year, then that wouldn't be taxed. Medical vitriol. We have some, but they're not as good as the classic philosophers like Slavoj Zizek. That dude's fun. He's constantly blowing his nose. I don't know. He has some kind of facial, not deformity, but like tick or something. Oh, tax D's nuts, bitch. TJ, it doesn't matter how much money is thrown at the problems. Most poor people, anecdotally speaking, are poor because they made bad decisions or lack any meaningful skills, talents, etc. No. Most poor people are not poor because they made bad decisions. Most people are poor because they were raised poor. And they make bad decisions because they didn't get proper education, they didn't have a proper upbringing, um, etc. So, yeah, that's why, I mean, I don't necessarily advocate just giving poor people a bunch of money, you know? I think that you have to actually invest in social programs like, hey, let's make sure these people are actually well educated. Um, let's make sure they're taken care of. They have the basic human necessities. Um, I don't just advocate like, hey, let's just give money, steal from the rich and give to the poor. It's about building institutions that actually benefit people. like I was watching this show one time, and they had this woman who was just from a dirt poor area and family, and they were giving her some free education classes, and they were asking about stuff she was taught, and she's like, "Yeah, I learned like you shouldn't beat your kids, like it's bad for them and stuff, and it hurts their development." And I just never knew that because where I'm from, everyone beats their kids, and it's like, oh shit. Yeah, it's probably a good thing someone came along and taught you that.
we should sponsor more of that. Less people thinking it's okay to beat the shit out of little kids. It's a pretty good thing in my book. Sounds like a useful way to spend money to me. I don't know. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. I got beat when I was a kid only a couple times though when I stole and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Legal to beat kids' ass in the principal's office at school still. Yeah, it is in some states. I'm not really talking about spanking here though. I'm talking about like, I actually beat the shit out of my fucking kids, I'm not talking about, I got a couple licks with the belt or whatever the fuck. Science says intelligence is 80% genetic. Yeah, I agree that I don't know if it's 80%. I don't think that science has come out with like, here's the percentage of like that's not known. I mean, we don't understand the brain that well, but it's pretty clear that a great deal of intelligence is genetic, but um, a lot of it depends on development. And we're not just talking about raw intelligence here. We're talking about education and we're talking about certain behaviors. Like, you can still teach a stupid dog how to fucking behave properly. But if you don't train the dog, it acts like a fucking maniac forever, you know? And there may be limitations to how much you can modify the dog's behavior. But, with proper training, even a stupid dog can be socialized and understand some basic commands and shit. And people are just, they're the same as dogs. We're not monumentally different. Look, we're getting into the whole nature versus nurture thing, so I guess I'll just give you my 2 cents on that. I mean, both factor into how a person develops, and honestly, a lot of it depends on the person. I think some people are more susceptible genetically to being influenced by environment than other people. So the answer is not something easy. It's a complicated combination of the two things, and it's probably different on a case by case basis. Yeah, I don't think it's as simple as people want to make it out to be. I think I'm gonna enjoy one last cigarette and then probably commit myself to bed. Yeah, I've definitely smoked too many cigarettes for sure. I had 13 when this stream began, so let's see how many there are now. Salvador, God damn it, stay inside. Just one more pack and then I'm done. Done for the night. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess I've smoked 5, and this will be my 6th of the stream. Averaging a cigarette every 30 minutes on this son of a bitch. I like to think of the topics as the guests on DFF. Insects. What about them? Kruger. Nicotine overdose sounds possible, but I don't know. Yeah, it's possible. I don't think it's possible from smoking cigarettes, though. I don't think this delivers the nicotine quickly enough. I'm finding that I really don't want this cigarette. So, sorry, cigarette. I thought I was in the mood for you, but I'm not. I'll still stick around for how long it would have taken to smoke. So, whatever. Yeah, bitch. What's that fucking one porn star or whatever the dude kept trying to get me to look up? She had some kind of really edgy name. I might as well go see what that fucking shit was. What was her fucking name? Something really lame and edgy. Dominican Poison, that was it. Let's see. Damn. She's got some big ass fucking tits, I'll tell you that much. Jesus. These things like defy fucking gravity. All right. I can get with that. I can get with it. I just got here. What the fuck is going on? Nothing. None of your damn business. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. No, we're not, Rodrigo. Shit, you refuted him. I sell society. Should we add NASCAR to the Olympics? Fuck yeah, dude. I think we should add it to the 100-meter dash. We only give it to one country a year, so. Just to win, you just have to outrun a fucking race car. Thanks for the stream. Live long and prosper. Hell yeah. Thank you. Welp. I guess I should probably be hitting the old dusty trail. I bid you all adieu. Thanks for tuning in.